233 people signed up to a single workshop of mine. My clients pay me $3,000 for a 90-minute consulting call, and I started with 158 followers and a workshop that 2 people showed up to. This is the system step by step. I'm going to walk you through what to sell, what to charge, how to actually fill a workshop room, whether that be online or in person, and the close that turns the workshop into paying clients without anyone feeling sold to or you feeling icky. And every step, I will give you something you can use today. And for those of you who don't know me, I own Right Mode and I have the best community for women out there. I will drop the link to that in the show notes below, but let's get into this right now. So step 1, pick your thing. Before any tech or anything like that, you need one sentence: who you help, with what problem, and 1 to 3 things max that you want people to walk away with after your workshop. Not your whole brain. We don't want to overwhelm people, just one promise. How I do it is I will brain dump into Claude. Messy, out loud, just a stream of consciousness, really. And then I ask it to help me find the workshop that is in me. So if you are an expert in your industry and couple that with AI, you've got an AI education workshop ready to go. And also, I want you to remember the thing you think is too obvious is often the thing that people will pay you for because you are so used to it. But there's a whole bunch of people out there who are just opening ChatGPT, who are just opening Claude for the first time. What I want you to do after you finish watching this is go and brain dump in Claude or ChatGPT for 5 minutes about who you like helping, how you're using AI, and ask it, what's the workshop in all of that? Who it's for? What's the promise? And then I want you to go back and forth, argue with it until the promise sounds like something that people would actually pay you for and that is actually solving a real problem. Step number 2, posting the proof. You need to film yourself and you need to be making content. I don't want to see you posting Claude. You're using 20% of Claude, you need to use the other 80%. That is so abstract for people and anyone can write that. You need to show how you are using it and people will go, I want that. That is exactly what I did last year. I posted on Instagram 3 times a day for over 12 months before I had a video go viral. However, I still had a profitable 6-figure business in that time. I was getting good quality leads from Instagram, from TikTok, from LinkedIn, and I was using a tool called Blotato to publish my content everywhere. I would just film one reel and it would get out everywhere. And that's how people started to associate me as the AI person. You need to be creating content. If you want a personal brand, if you want to grow your business, that is a non-negotiable. And now, obviously, as my audience has grown, this makes selling a lot easier. So you have social proof. But when you're first starting, you just need to keep going, get the reps up until you eventually have an audience. And the workshops kind of feed into this as too, because you start promoting these workshops, you build your email list, and you're also creating content online saying, hey, I've got this workshop coming up. Here's what you're going to learn. Here's how I'm currently using Claude. After this video, look at other creators in this space and then go and recreate some of their viral reels. And then at the end of that, just point people to your workshop, your masterclass, whatever you want to call it. That's where the funnel starts. You can also create a freebie. Number 3 is pricing. I have a rule here. If you have like no email list, no audience, I want you to run it for free for the first couple of times. Free feels fast. It builds your email list and it also allows you to sell more throughout the workshop. If you have an existing audience, and I mean at least 10,000 followers, then you can do low ticket. There's a sweet spot here because people obviously pay a small amount, so they're more likely to show up. But I will show you a few hacks to get a better show up rate, even on your free ones. My first ever workshop had 2 people in it. The system still worked. The list grew and the next room was bigger. It's not always about how many people you're going to get into these first workshops when you're starting. It's about getting confident and also building your email list. We want to build an audience on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you are, socials, but we really want to get them off and into our email list because we own that. And also you can sell to them more. They have literally said, hey, I want to hear more from you. I'm going to join your email list. And a little heads up here too, when you are selling to your audience at the back of a workshop, a bonus beats a discount every single time. We don't want to be discounting services, whether you want to sell consulting or you want to sell a paid workshop at the end of that. I played around with this for 12 months. A bonus with it could be a one-to-one call. I've had that work. It's had mixed kind of success. What works really well is if you give people like bonuses that they can use. That could be Claude skills. It could be ChatGPT skills now. It could be some other free mini training that you've pre-recorded. We don't want to create more work for ourselves with this either. And real bonus adds value. So you're helping your audience as well, and your price holds. And that one rule made me more money than any other pricing trick. And how I structure the bonus, the window, the exact price points, the maths for all of that lives in my membership. Again, I will drop the link below. Step number 4. Built the machine in an afternoon. We don't need this perfect, we just need it done. This is where something like Claude or ChatGPT really earns its keep because everything I'm about to show you was built with Claude, sitting next to me like a very patient tech friend. So this is a sales page that I built with Claude Code. And so signups go into my email list and it's just like clear and works really well. Then they pay using Stripe. We don't need anything else. Just Stripe is fine. And you can just use Claude Code to help you wire this up. Then the email sequence. We want this all automated. We don't want to be manually adding people to a Google Calendar invite. We also want all of these emails reminders to go out without you having to remember. And that also helps with your show up rate. One the day before, an hour before, and then we're live now. And with this automation too, we want to segment our list. So we want to identify that this person has purchased this masterclass or workshop, and that way we can segment them and we can have all of the flows for after the workshop too, but you can follow up with them down the track as well and be like, hey, I noticed that you came to a workshop. It's also how you can send them the replay easily as well. And we want to learn how people are coming onto our list. And if you use something like N8N, it can build all of this, like all of the automations on the back end, or you can use email marketing like Kit or Flowdesk for this. So step number 5 is filling the room. So first up, breathe. 20 people is a great first room. My first workshop had 2 people and it doesn't matter, okay? If there's 2 people, if there's 20, you want to give the same quality workshop regardless of how many people are in the room. So you also want to use the 5 levers that you already have, no matter if you're starting from the start. So socials, your inbox and existing clients, local business groups, other people's audiences, and communities you're already in. I haven't run a single ad, PS. I don't know how. I don't have time to learn. I probably should. But this was all just done organically through my content last year, reaching out to previous clients, posting everywhere, reaching out to local business chambers and being like, hey, I've got this intro to AI and automations workshop. And also asking people in my network, can you share this? I was shameless about that and it worked. And you can also reach out to people personally in the DMs. I've done this a lot for both free and paid, to send them a quick voice note being like, hey, I have this workshop coming up. I would love for you to attend. Invite them by their name. That is so personal, especially in the age of AI. And it feels really nice to have someone be like, hey, I thought of you and thought this would be useful for you. Step 6, selling at the back of the workshop. So this is the actual answer to how do you get clients from something like this? And it happens in the last 10 minutes of the workshop. So I use something that I learned from my business advisor called a self-identify close. No urgency or ickiness if that's, not your vibe. You just want to name the kinds of people sitting in your room. Call them out warmly and honestly, and the right ones then self-identify and know to take the next step with you. So how I do that is I will say something like, you're probably going to fall in one of 3 buckets today. You're like, my God, AI is like the devil, and I really just wish that I could go back to the 90s. If that is you, thank you for being here. Let me know your email and I'll PayPal you a coffee. The next up is you came to this workshop to just see if you're on the right track with AI, and you were like, yep, I am. You probably learn a couple of things. If that is you, I appreciate you spending the morning with me. If you know someone who would benefit from my work, please share it. Finally, you're in the 3rd bucket and you are like, I need more of this. And I am going to invite you to work with me through X. So for me, that was a 4-hour paid workshop. It could be consulting. What we don't want to do here is give people 3 offers. One clear next step. Another hack here too is you can also kind of say the path. So you can say, to become an expert in AI, you have to do these 3 things. And today you learned part 1 of this 3-step process. If you want to go and learn step 2 and 3, here's how you can do it. So they already I'm already a third of the way there, and it's the natural next step. So my membership and consults came almost entirely from people who have come to a workshop. Those 2 women in my very first workshop are still in my membership today. I love those OGs, and I am so grateful that they believed in me and supported me back when my business was just starting, and for them to continue to work with me is just such an honor. So you can do this from nothing. You just need to do this process and not quit. Also, keep in mind with a free room, 50% show up rate is very normal, even lower than that. So don't spiral about the show up rate. Also, keep in mind the people who stay to the end are the warmest. You have to sell. Don't get nervous now. One thing that I would do when I was feeling really nervous at the start of a workshop was say, at the end, I'm going to let you know how we can work together, but let's get into it. So it was just putting that elephant in the room out there, and then I could just get into the actual high value workshop. So again, your takeaway step from this is you figure out what your one offer is. That is the logical next step to working with you. Never a menu. The moment you offer 3 things, they choose nothing. And practice the actual close word for word, including what you're going to say to the skeptics, all of that. And again, if you want the full kit, it's in my membership. Now, the last thing, because the workshop isn't the finish line, it's one turn of a wheel. What you want to do at the end of the workshop, while everyone is still warm, is send out some follow-up emails. You want to ask for feedback, you want to ask for a testimonial, and you want to put the replay in, remind them of the fast action bonus, and also how they can work with you. Also, don't put all of that in one email. First up, you would go offer replay. We don't want to overload that one email. Again, it comes back to getting the person to do one thing. And then you want to track your sales, your conversions, your show up rates so that you can improve on those next time. Also, what I did last year was run these every 6 weeks. And that loop is the business model. And every turn of that, it will get bigger. Your email list will grow, your confidence will grow, and you will get people converting from these workshops into your paid offer. So for me, it was like 2 people, then it was 20, and then it was 233 in a single paid workshop. So, one promise, proof content, price it right, build it in an afternoon, fill the room, let them self-identify where they're at and go again in 6 weeks. That's how clients actually happen. And that's what I did all of last year to build this business. So tell me in the comments below which step you're stuck on. Is it the offer, the room, the close? I will read all of them and let me know if you want more videos like this. And if you want the whole machine built with you, so the email scripts, the pitch templates, the close word for word, that's exactly what my AI workshop kit does. And it's linked below. It's in my community. And if you want me in your corner every week, the Right Mode membership is where it's at. So come and join us. And if you want to see how I make money with Claude across the whole business, I'll link the video up. And make sure you like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next video.